Martial law is now in effect for Louisiana and Nevada per Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry and Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. This is not a test. Martial law is now in effect for Louisiana and Nevada. Please stay inside your homes. Do not answer your door unless it is a police official that is at your door. Curfew starts at 3 o'clock today. An announcement will be made when martial law has been lifted. Thank you.
Martial law is now in effect for Louisiana and Nevada per Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry and Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. This is not a test. Martial law is now in effect for Louisiana and Nevada. Please stay inside your homes. Do not answer your door unless it is a police official that is at your door. Curfew starts at 3 o'clock today. An announcement will be made when martial law has been lifted. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? All right, listen. Coffee, snacks, the whole kit caboodle, because you're gonna need it. All right. It's bad. It's bad. Everything is bad. All right. New Orleans. You probably heard, okay, but it's bad. I've dug, okay. I'm sure there's more information out there, but I dug up what I could dig up, okay. And there's a lot, but it is confirmed that this is ISIS. And this happened on Bourbon Street, okay. I have some footage I'm going to be showing you, okay. Viewer discretion advised. If you've got little nuggets around you, okay, please. Where do I even start? Where do I even start? I don't even know, all right. But here, I'll start with a picture, okay. Here's a close-up of an officer's sidearm, we'll just say that, in New Orleans. What is this pink stuff all over his sidearm? Okay. Now, let's talk about Senator John Kennedy and what he had to say. The first video, his comments are a little peculiar. The second video, he won't divulge. And I'm like, why? Don't you think we should know if something more is going to occur?
The federal government is now in charge of this investigation. By that I mean the White House, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. I have not talked to the FBI. Maybe they've talked to my staff. I don't know. I did talk to the Secretary of Homeland Security a little while ago. And I told him that with all the respect I could muster, that we expect to put the full force and resources of the federal government behind this investigation. Our state troopers, our local police departments, our sheriffs, we've got many sheriffs here today, have been terrific so far. The federal government is cooperating with them. I hope that will continue. Here's what I want to ask from the federal government. Catch these people. Catch these people. And then tell the American people the truth. Now, I don't want you to tell us yet anything that's going to interfere with your investigation. And there are things that I've been told that I think are true that I'm not sharing with you today because it could interfere with their investigation. But after we get to the bottom of this, they need to tell the American people the truth. And the people in New Orleans the truth. And the people of America the truth. I think the mayor and the governor are very wise to postpone this ball game for 24 hours. There's just too much stuff we don't know, and it's just not worth it. But I guess my final point is, I will promise you this: I will, when it is appropriate and this investigation is complete, you will find out what happened and who was responsible, or I will raise fresh hell, and I will chase those in the federal government who are responsible for telling us what happened, like they stole Christmas.
Thank you, Senator.
Just a final question here for not just people in Louisiana that are watching, but people coast to coast that are watching tonight. Are you getting the sense that there's any threat of any other potential attacks tonight on any other major cities?
I can't answer that. I can, but I won't.
Is New Orleans safe tonight?
Yes, but we're still in the process of tightening up security. We're still in the process of doing everything that we possibly can. The governor's called out the National Guard. We've got more FBI coming. We've got Homeland Security people. We've got state troopers who've done an awesome job. We've got the NOPD. We're doing everything we can. But like I say, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's accurate.
Okay.
So these right here, okay, I'm going to show you a video. These are hydraulic steel barricades. They were installed in New Orleans in response to attacks where these morons could use cars as a weapon. Now, a witness says that they were not raised last night. Or that night, I'm sorry. And people were confused as to why they were not raised up. Okay, well, with an event like New Year's Eve, they should be taking precautions of all sorts. And these are one of the precautions. So why were these not put in place? If they were there, they should have been raised up, but they were not raised up. This is how these idiots were able to take so many lives. So who made the decision not to implement these barricades when they were there? They were put there for a reason. Who didn't put them up?
Doug McCash, I'm with NOLA.com, and lately I've been writing about the mayor and governor's proposals to make the French Quarter safer. And one of those proposals was to have mechanical barriers that would prevent vehicles from approaching Bourbon Street after certain hours.
Should we take it down, this view? Here you go. You ready? You ready? That exciting.
There were terrorist attacks in Nice and in Berlin where terrorists used trucks as weapons. And this is supposed to protect us from that.
I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Keeps cars from running us over when we're drunk, right?
We have these hydraulic steel barriers from past events. Last Mardi Gras, this happened to an extent, maybe not terrorism, but still people getting hit in mass population with vehicles. Those barricades were not on, period. They had the flimsy orange ones that you could just push over with your finger. We actually thought it was kind of odd because usually when you get to Bourbon Street, you can turn your back to Canal and not worry about anything. You can just walk the street, especially on New Year's, and there were still vehicles coming after 8 p.m. And then, I mean, the fact that they never raised them, that's how this guy was able to get down Bourbon Street so quickly and cause so much damage. Because there's other barricades past the Canal and Bourbon intersection. There's more like every 2-3 blocks. So what was 10 or 15 dead and 30 wounded could have only been maybe 5 and 15. I mean, who can say, but it definitely would have been minimalized because this truck could not go around those barricades. Everything in New Orleans in the French Quarter has a balcony. All the balconies have poles. several steel posts, and there's no going around anything. If that barricade's up, that's a wrap. That's your end.
So here's a video of the police officers on Bourbon Street when the call came in, and you will see them literally in action. Watch. Now this video here is of a man, and he starts to get very upset, obviously. He chokes up as he tells the disturbing story of how he thought he and his friends had avoided the attack in New Orleans until he realizes that his friend was not with him. Take a listen.
He's coming up all onto the sidewalk and all that, but by that time we had already made it inside the divot, or is what I thought. Until once we get inside the divot and the car passes, I turn around to like look who's all in here, because it was supposed to be 3 of us. I turn around to look who's all in here, and I don't see my friend. And I just start screaming and yelling, and I'm like, nah, where are you? And I turn and I look in the street, and her right leg is flipped like horror movie style over her back, and it's just blood.
Now this attack in New Orleans, like I said, is confirmed of ISIS. Okay, it's affiliated. I'll just say that. And it is believed that the person had 5 assailants with him. And this known person is from Azerbaijan. I can't say it. Azerbaijan, okay? Who crossed the border in early 2024 and was heard threatening U.S. citizens, saying, "You will soon know who I am." This guy is still on the loose.
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
Now, the man apparently taken into custody in Houston, Texas, is connection to this attack in New Orleans. And local reports say that a SWAT unit brought several people, including children, out of this home. And the FBI believes that this 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar did not act alone. And officials say that Jabbar made a series of recordings before the attack, which are being viewed by investigators.
I'm a retired Secret Service agent, and I think I know a thing or two about protection and how to get through life safely. I protected presidents for 25 years, and unfortunately I have a pretty bad feeling about what's happening right now. If you take a close look at this early morning hours event that took place down in Louisiana, and then over later, a few hours later in Nevada, I don't believe in coincidences. Okay, you might, I don't. I think you should do yourself a favor and check out Sarah Adams. Sean Ryan's interviewed her several times, and she's been talking about what's coming our way in 2025. And if what she's talking about is what just happened, they wasted no time. get it. You should be ready to protect yourself and defend yourself and your family. I'm not saying live in fear and be a hermit, but when you go out, for God's sake, pay attention to what's going on around you. Unfortunately, I think it's here.